Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hey,
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
We're doing good. I'm doing good. How y'all doing? It seems like it's been an eternity since we connected.
It
yeah,
really does. It really does. I've been doing really good, getting organized and reorganizing everything and moving some stuff around and starting some new online stuff. I've been having a really good time. Been very peaceful, introverted. So I've definitely been loving my peace.
me too. I'm loving the new normal.
The new normal, which is the name of our show today, right, ladies?
Yes.
So before we get into the show, y'all make sure y'all hit like, share, subscribe, the notification button, and all that, so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Um, But as we're talking about the new normal, I just want to mention some things that don't change. I don't know if you guys heard about the two tragedies that not too long ago happened, with two of our brothers were taken, on some crazy, crazy, crazy. So basically, I just want to send out some love and some love and positivity into the world, because while there are lots of awesome things happening, some things are still the same, and unnecessary people are being taken for no reason.
Yeah,
So I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, we definitely
I
send
agree.
love and light to everyone.
I agree.
Always. Now, on Ayana's page, actually, and I never knew this, but it makes perfect sense because, of course, however you birth something is 9 times out of 10 how it always will be. And she said historically, the police began as runaway slave terrorists, catchers, killers to ensure there would be no revolt. I read that just this morning, right before you said what you said just now. So, and I never knew that. I never really looked in the history of the police and why they initially even promoted even having police. But that's what it started out for, to
Yeah.
capture slaves, terrorists, yeah, killers, and that's very interesting. I wonder if some of the police officers know, which I'm sure they do, but I wonder if some of the other ones even know the history of the organization that they belong
Mm.
Right, right.
Oh,
Yeah, I was aware of that, but of course, we know not all of them are horrible people, but unfortunately, the ones that are causing all the hurt and the pain are the ones that that are
hmm.
being known, the people that are really out here doing good work and are protecting and serving, because that does exist. So unfortunately, those people are not being talked about, or we're not hearing about them. Every now and then you'll hear a good story, but for the most part, the bad and the evil takes over, which that's America, I guess. But in talking about the new normal, let's get into it. How y'all feeling about this new normal? I got lots to talk about.
I love this new normal. It feels really, really good. It feels normal to me. It really does because the more I spend time by myself and then I go interact in the public, I'm like, I need to go back to my house.
Yeah.
Like I need to come back into my space because I don't know, it's just more peaceful, it's more loving, it's cleaner. I don't know. I just really like the no contact and not having to be around humans so much. I
I
really
think
my
that's
energy
the
feel the same. I don't feel stressed out. I don't feel all of those. When you're going out in the public and you come home and you feel like somebody threw your ass in the washing machine and in the dryer. Like I don't feel like that anymore. It just feels like I could go out for a minute, come back in. I like the little buying and selling and doing things from home and being online. I love it. It's so me. I mean, I don't know.
that's I was just getting ready to say that's your empathic nature. I think your empathic gifts, you can call it a gift or a curse because you can't be around certain types of energies where you just don't like to be out but I think I'm in the middle of. I'm introverted, so I do love to be in, but at the same time, I do miss little things like walking in the mall with my daughter and going to the movies. I do miss little bits and pieces of being out, but I'm definitely introverted. So I also love the new normal, especially when it comes to business, because I
Yeah,
can just do my work right here from the
right
laptop.
here at home. Yeah, that's the part I like too. But the only part I need outdoors is nature. I don't need the humans. I don't need that. As long as it's nature and there's water and mountains and scenery, and I like it because it's like you living on a planet by yourself. So many people aren't out, so it kind of feels like you walking around and you're the only one that really lives on the planet. I think I like that
What you think, Nilo?
too. I love it. Never
Um,
ever see another human.
Okay, light
um,
worker.
I am. A lot of people see me as like a social butterfly, and because I'm so friendly. And however, a lot of people don't know the flip side is that I'm extremely introverted, and I like to be by myself, reading or writing or just doing creative things. But every now and then, I do like to party and have get-togethers and socialize. Like that's a fun thing for me. I like that energy exchange with other people. It just depends on what the I mean, lately, you can pick and choose. Before, we didn't really know. We just was exchanging energy with everybody. But now, when you can pick and choose the people you want to exchange, that exchange is always good and healthy, and it fills you up, and that you kind of get that reciprocity where you're filling someone up and then they're filling you up. So I'm doing that through texting and group chatting and all of that kind of stuff in my Zoom classes. And so I'm being very social, but still being at home. So I just recently did a yoga class, which was amazing. I was in here sweating, which is going to be on Fridays. Y'all know already about my cooking class that I've been taking. I've been really, really just being creative. I've been painting. I haven't really been writing that much, but I've been reading a lot. So for me, I would say the biggest thing, and I always notice this when I go out, and it's mainly to the grocery store because where else you gonna go? But for me, I'm a huge car eater, and so like I'm the one in the grocery store who will taste the grape before I buy it to see if it's sweet. I can't do that no more. I haven't bought grapes in a minute, but like for some reason, I always end up going to the grocery store a little hungry. So when I get in the car, I'm going to pop open whatever my little snack is and eat it in the car. Not doing that. So yeah, that's kind of like a big thing for me. Me and Kirk went to the grocery store, must have been yesterday, and I was starving. And I just was fuming because I was like, I wanted to get one of the chips or just something to snack on. So for me, that's a big difference. And going out to eat, y'all know me and Kirk like to hit all the spots. Yeah. So going out to eat is like a big game changer, but that has flipped on me. And so it's a lot of creative cooking going on now. Like I'm very careful about how my food is on the plate. Like everything is just so much more intentional. So there's a flip side to all of that. There's definitely a flip side to that.
How about I had to take my Asana to the dentist last week, and she said over the phone, make sure y'all have your mask on. So I'm thinking, okay, we got masks. I get there, and she said she's gonna be about an hour. They don't even let you in the door. They come outside and meet you at the car. She's gonna be about an hour. Do you want to sit in your car or you want to sit out on the patio? You can't even go in the dentist's office. Okay. I'm like, it's hot out here. I didn't know. I thought I have my mask. No, sit in the car. So that part.
No, they're not allowing any visitors for anything. So it's definitely, you gotta be okay being with yourself these days because
I'm good at that. I'm great at that.
You will be by yourself a lot more than what you're used to. I mean, there's 7 billion people, so they say. There's 7 billion people on the planet. And now you have to kind of be by yourself. And I mean, I'm finding peace in that. I'm finding the good thing in that. But there are some things that you miss about it. But the thing that the effect I have when I come from the store, that's the thing I don't like. After I've been out and I see everybody in the street with a mask on, for whatever reason, that affects me. And so when I get home, I'm tired. We get in the shower and get all that. And it's just, I don't know. I don't like the way it looks. The image of it, of everybody with these masks on, it affects me to where I kind of am a little quiet. And when I get, so that's why I don't really go to the store that much. Once I go, I buy a lot of stuff, so I don't have to go for a longer period of time. So I don't really have to keep seeing that. But if that's going to be the new normal, I might have to see that a lot more going forward. That might be like a thing.
You know what? It's funny that affects you, because it affects me when I don't see people wearing masks and gloves. I'm like,
I think it's just the fact that this is something you're not normally seeing with people. And you can see when people are smiling or when people are speaking, you can kind of tell through their eyes, but you can't really see that. And even when I'm walking in the morning, there are some people who exercise with their mask on, but you can't really see a person and their expressions and all of that. So
yeah.
It's
different. It kind of makes me think about overseas when, the women had to wear the hijabs and be covered up. Every time I go out, I think about that, and I kind of think about how they didn't really have a choice. They had to be covered up. And it was punishable if they weren't covered up. So I think as Americans, we just are so shocked when anything throws us out of our normal. We just don't know how to respond. We don't know how to react to it. And I'm like the rebel without a cause in the family, so I don't wear a mask. I don't wear gloves. I still eat grapes in the grocery store. Like, I'm just... and I'm on the West Coast, so the West Coast is very liberal and open. We don't walk around with masks on. Like, there's enough space out here where people are kind of doing their thing, but it's like business as usual. Things are open. Some of the places never even closed, and a mask is something rare that you see out here on the West Coast, which I'm really kind of happy about. I see it, and sometimes I think when I wear a scarf just in case it's really crowded, I can put it up over me. But 9 times out of 10, I never do it because people just really not out here in these streets like that out here in the West Coast. I see people still at the park doing their thing, and I mean,
well, you know what the NO is about, okay?
Oh, I know.
And we don't have no chill, okay? We don't have no chill. So you will still see the crawfish boils, the seafood boils, the gatherings on the Nutri-Ground, you're gonna still business is as usual in some things, but we're in phase 1 right now, so some businesses are opening and some restaurants are opening, and I think it's 25% capacity. But there are some places that you are not allowed to go without a mask. Mm-hmm. And so while you're saying that, you have the luxury over on the West Coast, but here they won't. Some places you can't even go in unless you have a mask. They will turn you away. When I went to UPS, you have to have a mask on. Most places now it's about to be mandatory. So I don't know what's happening on the West Coast, but you gotta have a mask to go in some places. Now the grocery stores and all that, every single person doesn't have a mask on, but I think when you are in certain places, when it's a smaller area, they're
No,
like that in Atlanta too. In Atlanta, it's like we're open, we're back to normal, but some things you just can't go in. Like I said, the dentist office with, and then other things you can't go in without a mask either. So it's
I
the
have
same thing.
no. It is definitely not like that on the West Coast. This is the wild, wild West. People are so anti everything already. So if you force people on the West Coast to do anything, it gets extremely violent. You know, just like when they went in YouTube and they started shooting, and the whole issue with Snapchat, and even when they came out with the little scooters. When I lived in California, they damaging them, throwing them in the garbage. Like they just don't. I don't know. They just don't feel like any type of rights have to be infringed. It's excellent. Everybody gets health care on the West Coast. Like you just get health care. You don't, there's no requirement. You get what you need on the West Coast. And we don't really have a lot of cases. I think we had 800. I don't want to say we don't have a lot because any death is a lot, but we had 806 in the whole state of Arizona total of deaths. I think we had like 10 grand in just having COVID, but a huge percentage of it were people over the age of 68 that that contracted it out here. But what I've learned about the mask is if you don't have a certain type of mask anyway, it's not really, it's somewhat of a filter, but it's not solely protecting you from whatever's even going on out here anyway. I just kind of think if your system can withstand it, you're going to be fine. And I think some systems just can't withstand what's going on, period. So, I mean, a lady gave me a mask today, which is actually my first mask, but I'm just like, I don't wear it when I go walking. I don't wear it when I'm bike riding. I mean, I wore it during allergy season when allergy season first hit, and I saw it did help, but I mean, I haven't been led to really wear it. I don't sense anything really going on out here like I did in the beginning because I was covered up in the beginning because I kind of felt the germs in the environment in the beginning. I felt something was out here trying to latch on and snatch us up. I felt that. But I haven't felt any of that lately or anything like that. So I don't like stuff like all up over me. Like this right here is a lot. Like I feel claustrophobic kind of. My head wrapped up and bobby pins and I can feel all of that kind of stuff. So it's really heavy for me, but it makes you think every time you see it. But the good thing about us being so introverted now is when we do get together or we do have contacts, it's all the more sweeter. It's the connections have to be real connections or good connections, or you don't want to make that connection. It makes us more have more gratitude and be more grateful. I've been doing that gratitude prayer every single morning. The little pink one that you sent, Nalo sent to us, every single day. And I've been blessed every single day that I've started doing it. Like I've increased with me doing it. And now I set my alarm. I make it a daily practice. So I'm grateful that I was exposed to that because I'm a grateful person and I'm thankful here and there. But to really make it a habit every day has been life changing for me lately. And I've seen the universe respond instantly. But because that I did it. So we probably should post that so other people can kind of get involved with it too, because when you're focused on what you're grateful for now and in the present and in the future, you don't even have time. I mean, so many positive things started happening. I don't even have time to really focus on anything negative. It's like with the police officers putting their knee in the back where they can't breathe. That's a trend. They've learned that tactic, and it's probably on a little black market in the police department because if you notice, everyone who dies, it's that same technique. So they know exactly what they're doing when they even do anything like that. And if you're going to live in America or live on the planet, there's really no way around it. That we'll never escape from that because that's how America was birthed from that. It wasn't that in the beginning, but when they came over here and settled and took over, they took over by killing and raping and destroying things. So if you want to live in an environment where they came and took over, that's the nature of the beast. That's something we're going to have to live with. But that's the good thing about getting up and being able to live anywhere you want. You don't have to be exposed to certain things. You can pack your shit up and move to Costa Rica, anywhere you want to live now. You can't be afraid. You can't stay somewhere and complain about an environment. If you don't like it, just pack your stuff up and go somewhere else where you can find peace, where you can find happiness, where you can have the red carpet rolled out for you, where you can be happy. I'm a big believer in doing that. Like, drop and sell everything and let the universe bless you and expose you to beauty and happiness every day. Out here where I am now, these people are so friendly and so loving and so, I can't even, it's hard to get used to it. It's a lot like New Orleans, but the people are more genuine, more full of integrity, and I don't feel the ulterior motives and the hidden agendas. People are very innocent and naive and wholesome out here in Arizona. So I definitely like it.
I was gonna say, I'm glad you touched on the part about picking up and moving, and you don't have to be anywhere, and the part where you touched on talking about how the police, that's their trend, and if you want to be in America, then that's something you have to get used to, because if you look at the flip side of it, the spiritual side of it, like you said, it's nothing that's forced upon you. Picking up and moving is an act of raising your vibration to a better environment. And if you use those tools to raise your vibration and really take advantage of this quarantine time, or some of us, while we still have a little bit of quarantine time left, to really go inward and figure out who that person is on the inside and raise that vibrational frequency, those type of things won't even be in your world. You see? And that's the things that we need to really focus on. Because in my opinion, I feel like Spirit is saying, yes, I've quarantined you guys to go within, to get to know you, to be still and heal. Figure it out on your own. You weren't brought into this world with anybody. Okay, so you're back at square one, right? A rebirthing process. But then again, at the same time, Spirit put us here and said in the word, it is not good for man to be alone. So we won't be separated for long. But right now, being the new normal, take this time. Like you said, get up, do a regimen, do a gratitude. Find out who you are as an individual alone first, mastering the self. And then once quarantine is over, you go back out into the new earth, the new world, total different atmosphere. And some of us, fortunately, we won't be exposed to that type of stuff. We'll be in the world, but not of the world. Unfortunately, others of us, we won't see those same experiences. So right now, you're like in the potter's hands. You're the potter. You're resetting the whole atmosphere around you. So it's up to you. It's up to us now what you'll see when it's time to go out and take the mask off.
Yeah.
I
Change of perspective going on.
Yeah.
In perspective and perception. Yeah.
Exactly.
I definitely agree with that. I wanted to piggyback off of something that Keisha said about the gratitude thing. I can't remember where I saw that, but I know I have it in my phone. So I'll share it because I don't want to mess up who I got it from. But I think that that's a huge part of the new normal that we're talking about, that gratitude and showing gratitude on a regular basis for even the smallest little things, everything we should show gratitude for. Like right now, I'm feeling so celebratory. I didn't even show y'all, I have my little drink, but I'm feeling so celebratory right now with so many little different things. It's not anything massive that's happening. It's massive in my world, but there's so many little different things. Like Kirk and I have been plant shopping. I'm sure y'all have seen all these new plant babies that we got. So when I said we're not gonna have any more pets and we're not gonna have all no kids and all that, well, now we got a house full. And this man walked in the house yesterday with another plant. And I looked at him and he just put his head down. He was like, I know, but so it's becoming a new thing for us. I call it kind of like a healthy addiction because we are caring for things and they're bringing us joy and all of that kind of stuff, and they're beautiful and all the things that plants. When I see a new baby forming on a plant or something like that, it makes me feel happy. And right now, all my babies are pregnant and having babies, and I'm feeling celebratory about my creative works. I've been doing some painting. I was just recently featured on, not recently, this morning, Dear Dope Chick, who is a sister that I follow on Instagram, who is just about positivity and taking up space and standing in your truth and all of those things that we talk about. And I did the submission, and she selected it as one of the people. Some people are featured every week, so this week it was me, and so I'm feeling celebratory about that. It's not like a big old, like, I'm not gonna be on TV, but to me I feel seen. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be important in the new normal for people to actually see who you really are and you feeling seen in the things that you're talking about. So let me just really quick show y'all the card that I pulled. I don't know how much time we have left, but I got the World card.
Wow.
That's pretty.
When we said, well, let's pull for the collective consciousness. We all know that I'm new to the tarot, and I kind of just, do my cards old school. I don't really do them like y'all. I just kind of stack them up and then I just flip one over. And this is what came to me. So I'm just gonna read a little part of it, not the whole thing, so y'all can do y'all's. But this says there is an acceptance of yourself and others that creates wholeness and unity. That's huge. Let me read that again. There is an acceptance of yourself and others, acceptance of others that creates wholeness and unity. Man, that's so beautiful. And then you're realizing that you are a part of something much larger than yourself and are able to see the big picture much more clearly. The world, that's the world, y'all. And we're all a part of the world, and we all have a part to play. We all have space to take up, to shine our light and stand in our truth and push forward the positive messages and the higher vibrations of what's going on. So I just want to chime in with that. I don't know if we're to the card section yet, but go ahead.
Perfect.
I love it because the world says that we're all inclusive. We're all one, connected. I love that card.
Yeah, I like that too. You want to go, Zara? You want me to go?
You can. I'll go. Four of Cups is what I got for the collective, and people need to understand Cups is love. So I like that energy right there. But I'm going to read quickly. It just says the meaning of the cups suggests that if there's boredom in a relationship or work or whatever the situation may be, you may want to think about where you're standing right now and make some changes. You may be feeling a little disillusioned and flat as the expectations you once had don't materialize. You may feel the need for inspiration or direction and hope for positive change. Rather than wait for those things to improve dramatically, you can make some small decisions that lift your mood so that you can see where you go next. So to me, I feel like it's saying in this new normal, in this quiet quarantine downtime, think about the reflections on your life. Think about where you are now and where you want to go and set some goals for that. What y'all think?
I think that's a winner. Both of them are a winner. Yeah. I think that everything is in alignment. Everything we do is always in alignment. Now, I got the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, that's my favorite. I love that card.
The Destiny card. And I'm going to read what it says. This is by a young goddess artist. I love her. Her name is Andrea, the Afro goddess deck. I love her. She did all her own artwork. She's an artist, so she did all her own artwork. This is her first tarot deck. So y'all definitely have to check her out. But this is what she's saying in the Wheel of Fortune. The only constant in life is change. The Wheel of Fortune, card 10, and 10 being of completed and renewed cycles, represents turning points and stability within the flow of change. There will always be good times, but there will also always be bad times as well. This is a cycling balance of humility that we must accept. All paths lead somewhere. Do not fight it. Stand in your personal power, but go with the flow. The goddess affixed on the top has worked hard to be there. The serpent on the right represents the intelligence and wisdom ascending from a time where she was once crushed by the will to the top. However, like I said, change is constant. So the serpent on the left could be interpreted as the descending goddess, be by its circumstance or the tip of her own spear, sending her back to the bottom to start again. Ultimately, the lesson here is to be optimistic and witty enough to journey to the top of the wheel, yet still refrain from being crushed by it during the times you are on the downsizing. So the Wheel of Fortune is kind of like the destiny card. It's like an ebb and flow, means sometimes things are good, sometimes things are bad. And like she said, we just stay optimistic. It's all in destiny. And we just have to find the goodness in whatever's going on in our lives. Like we have a recycle center downstairs, and I've never been big on recycling because, New Orleans is just not really about that. So the West Coast really is like, if we go to the grocery store, they don't give out plastic bags. Like, that's just a no-no. We have to use our own shopping bags, our own everything. It's just big on recycling. So there's a recycling center downstairs, and every time I go down there, there's all of this good stuff like beds and desks and chairs, and people just, I don't know, people just putting out stuff, nice stuff. And it's on the West Coast, the recycle, they put it out so you can pick it up. If you don't pick it up, the recycle company comes and picks it up and takes it away. So I started getting the items, listening online, and listening to these stories when these clients find it. The guy today was like, I've been looking for a pull-up bar. I can't find a pull-up bar. I need to get my muscles in on this quarantine. I haven't been working out. I'm so happy. And then the lady with the face rollers and the desk, they all have these stories. And for some reason, all their stories is they claim they can't find this stuff. So I'm thinking, like, what the I can find a lot of stuff. So it's almost like I'm the connection in these items finding a new home. And if people know me, they know I'm a thrift shopper. Like, I love thrift. Half the stuff in my house is something I found on the street or something online. Like, I just really love a deal. I love a bargain, and I love secondhand items because it just has so much character and it already has the energy to it. Some things I like new, but that's been a blessing in my life to be inventive, to come up with these ideas, because there's so much time to make different things work around here. It's like what Nalo was saying. I've always been a big reader, so I've always read a lot, but just with the Zoom has gotten me into trying to share more, because I usually just am so consumed in my own head. I don't do anything outside of myself. So this time is allowing me to learn to be more outside of myself through social media and, even with taking some classes, like I need to get into that. But I mean, I don't know. I just be around here, me and Boo Boo Kitty. And I
you got 4 minutes.
There we go, 4 minutes left in my own little space. So I think all of the cards are really good for us and in perfect alignment with what's going on for our new normal, and just to embrace it better than the last new normal that we had to embrace during Katrina. And I keep referencing that because it was so traumatic. So I'm sure this experience is traumatic for people too, because of just your perception and how you look at it. So I'm grateful for my experience with Katrina. So this time I can look at it from the flip side and take advantage of it as far as looking at it in a devastating way, even though we were receiving so many blessings after Katrina. So I'm really loving that about it.
Well, you
Well,
guys,
it looks
I
like
love
we
it.
are.
Go ahead,
Did you
Nalo.
have something? I was just saying it looks like that we're running out of time, but it looks like we are kind of flowing into the new normal, and we might just be okay.
I think we're definitely gonna be okay because it's part of all nature's and the universe's natural divine. It also lines up. If you look at your chart, it probably lines up with what's already in your chart anyway. So,
Yeah.
the new normal is everyone's going to be online. It's not going to be any more status. Everyone is kind of on an even playing field, and you're going to attract who you're going to attract, and you're going to do whatever's in your destiny to do, and have multiple streams of income doing so many different things that make so many people happy. So before Dara talks about her new surprise, make sure you click like, share, subscribe, click notifications. Contact us at whatsoulsistersay@gmail.com for any new things that's going on with us. And let's hear what she has to say now.
I was just gonna say that before we click off to send us some suggestions and what y'all want us to talk about. But my thing was, I was just gonna talk about it on maybe the next video, how I will be offering some master classes for those who actually want to go within and get over some obstacles, and how you can hit me up. I am your spiritual life coach at gmail.com. I'm so excited about my new venture.
Okay.
But that's all I was going to say, for them to send us some suggestions as you like, share, and subscribe, what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, she's been taking her, getting her life coach certification. So she'll be certified in 4 different areas. So she started her new, her new email. So, and it's not really new. It's not really new. She's been doing it. It's just time for it to really come out. So it's just been cultivating a long time, just like with Nalo with her arts and crafts, and just like with me with the things I'm doing. So it's just time for it to come out. We've been pregnant with it, and it's just time to give birth is all.
Yes. 1 minute.
Yeah.
All right, ladies.
Yeah. It's been real. It's been good. It's good to see you all.
Next time.
But don't forget, click like, subscribe, share the videos, send us emails, your comments, everything is welcome. And we will see you and talk to you soon. Love you.
I love y'all.
Bye.
All right, peace.